Hello everybody, my name is Steven and I'm with Cannin.com, and we're back today to do another technical analysis piece on another company that is listed on NASDAQ, plenty of liquidity, and supports greenhouse growers. Previously they did it with non-cannabis crops, other agricultural crops, and now they are making their cannabis play for the last 4 years. So let's jump over to the pricing chart now. So you can see the company we're looking at is Village Farms International. The ticker is VFF. Again, traded on the NASDAQ, so plenty of liquidity there. The indicators that we're looking at today are the VAMA, which is the volume adjusted moving average. That's this yellow line that we see here. Let me zoom in. You can see that it's pretty much above where the price is closing every day. That's a definite sign of weakness. But we are kind of ticking back up and getting a little bit closer here as we've had these 3 positive days this week. Plus 0.4%, plus 8%, plus 11%. This all really coincided with the positive earnings report that they released on the 9th, which was the 3rd day we looked there. 146% above pricing estimates there. So that was really driving this. You can also see the volume really took an increase here. 1 million, 1.8 million, 2.64 million on the day that their earnings were released, whereas their average volume is really 650,000. So far less than what we're seeing now. We did give a lot of that back the very next day after the earnings call, which is very typical. You know, some people say don't trade on the day of an earnings call or the day after, and this is why, right? Pretty high volatility, minus 7%, gained about 1.8% of that today. So a strong week overall for Village Farms International, but again, we want to see times where the price crosses over the VAMA, the volume adjusted moving average, which it did here, but then stays above. So we're really going to watch what happens here. You can see the yellow line a little better when I hover over it. We are kind of above it today, so definitely watch and see if it stays above, bounces off, and comes back up, or crosses back below. Those are going to be pretty clear bull and bear signals. Also looking at the AD line, the accumulation distribution line, this is additive as we know, so downward facing pressure. We can even zoom out again. They used to be up about, or I should say down about negative 28 million. They've really hit lower levels, minus 34 million. Lots of selling, lots of distribution happening to this stock throughout this time period. And then right before the earnings call, you can see we were at minus 34 million. A lot of buying, which we just looked at. A lot of buying, a lot of accumulating there, gained 3 million. Now we're going to watch and see what happens here. You can see that it was pretty clear what happened. If we take this as the signal to noise, right, it was pretty clear what happened on this candle. So the day before the earnings call. So it is a leading, but really hard, really tough to see, tough to be confident in that type of signal. So what's another way we can look at that? The CCI, Commodity Channel Index. You know, we have our boundaries here at positive 100, negative 100. And it's really clear what happens here. We were really bouncing in well below oversold territory, just bouncing in the negative hundreds. And then all of a sudden, the 5th of November, nothing real is happening. We're bouncing off negative 100 again, and then boom, boom, 2 candles. We bump all the way to 325. So quite the slope change. If you were one of those traders that's triggered by not the movement of the indicators themselves, but the slope changes, this would have been a really strong buy signal on from this candle to this candle, and you would have caught the last 11% gain. So a little bit easier to see the same type of thing that we see in the accumulation distribution on the CCI, and it's telling kind of an interesting story. It's going to come back down. Is it going to continue back down to minus 100, or is it going to bounce up and stay in positive territory? That would coincide obviously with a lot of buying. The AD line would increase, our price would go up. So these 3 indicators are aligning really well. It's gonna be pretty clear what's gonna happen in the next week. So definitely stay tuned to Village Farms International. Long term, they do have a lot of promise, but short term, you can see the pricing charts don't lie, right? The trend is your friend, and the trend is definitely down on this one. So stay tuned for more from VFF, and happy trading, everybody.